if I was to be running like a 10, like the 10 miles today, and they join me, and then we keep training again and again together. Like when I have long runs, we go together. And that is the thing that I like about it, because you help each other. For me, my strength is temperance, and so if I was to run with German athletes, like for example, I did a few years in Flagstaff, I feel like at the end of the day, they benefit, or if they don't benefit, they learn something about it. And so that is the good thing about being in international group.
What do you think about Mo Farah this year? You've seen you run against him in Istanbul at the World Indoors. He started the season kind of dodgily. We're a bit worried about him. Do we need to be?
No, do not worry about Mo Farah. You know what? That is the point whereby Mo Farah was training. He was training for the bigger picture, bigger championships, and I think like Olympics. And so those two races. In fact, he didn't do terribly bad in Birmingham. His body kind of felt tired a little bit, and then unfortunately in Boston, and then when we came to Istanbul, it was a tactical race, and also everyone was still in the same kind of shape. But it's just a matter of who timed very well that day. But I believe we were all equal that day. But timing-wise was crucial in that race. My timing in the semi-finals was terrible. I almost got out, and then I said I'm going to run smart this time. So guys should not worry about Mo Farah. He's doing the right thing, and I think he's training well.
Do you think that do you envy that sort of, or do you worry about? Not worry about it, but the sort of pressure that he's under, being the sort of great British hope for the
yes,
for
and
the
you know what? Somebody told me, what can you tell the people of UK? I think an interview somebody did for me, and I said, if you guys let him be, what he wants to be, that's all. Really, let him do his own stuff. Don't ask him too much. Don't get involved in so many things that would distract him. But let him be by himself. Not too much write up. If anything, I like when people don't write too much about what I'm doing or what to expect from him, because we read those things, and athletes also get people telling them, man, you are the guy, man. We are relying on you. Just don't worry about that stuff. Just let him train the way he's been training and the way he's been preparing himself. Like for example, for Deku, when he did amazing 10K and the 5,000 meters to win. And so I think he will be very alright.
So for the 5 and 10, as it stand at the moment, one other interesting factor was Bekele in Doha. Just wasn't the Bekele we know. He was struggling badly. Struggled obviously at the end of last season. Do you feel that maybe that we've seen the best of Bekele?
No, I refuse to believe that way. People always tell me, are we going to see the best of Bekele? I believe, well, it might not be the best like 12:37 we have seen, but he's going to be up there. That guy is a different kind of guy. He's a different animal. Different kind of guy. He is, I don't always say that to my close friends. So I hope that's a good thing. But he's a different kind of guy. I think we are going to still see more of him. The hard training he's been doing, I think, will pay off. But unless he gets injured again, then that would be the problem.
But we don't see results like that, though, do we? 3,000 struggling and finishing 6 or 7.
Yeah, but we saw the 10,000 meters at the end of the season last year. After dropping out in Beijing, in Seoul. Daegu. So I think Mo Farah, Kenyans and Bekele would still be a factor. I'm not ruling him out personally, even for the Olympics. No.
Generally, the Kenyans have this outstanding crop again, and if even from Ethiopia a little bit, what do you attribute that to?
I think they are learning from the Ethiopians actually. What I've realized is I think the Kenyans are learning from the Ethiopians. Being together, you look at the Ethiopians, they're like teammates. And then when you look at the Kenyans, they are more individual kind of runners. Some of them are based in London, some of them are in, let's say, Amsterdam or something. And you don't see them when they meet. It seems like there's no chemistry like the way I've seen the chemistry between the Ethiopian athletes. And suddenly, we've seen the change in Kenyan athletes. The chemistry is there. Most athletes are training together. Vivian has a big group. Vivian Cheruiyot, she's my favorite. And every time she runs, I always cheer her like crazy because she is the, my favorite. She loves my kids, that's why. And she loves Tiana and Nika. But you know, she is an amazing athlete, and so we see it now that the Kenyan runners, the girls, are moving up. Look at Sally is an amazing runner. And when we saw Sally being in Kenya, she was training with the best girls in Kenya. So she has experience from living in America, different training. She went to Kenya, mixed up with the girls in the team, and look at what she did. So they're learning from the Ethiopians. That's my feeling. Nobody has told me though, but I think that's the thing.
What's your program before the trials?
What's that?
What's your program before the trials?
Pre-classic, pre-content classic, 2nd of June, and then 9th, and I'm doing the mile.
Yeah.
And then New York race, I'm doing the 1500 meters. Yes, the Adidas Grand Prix.
And after the trials, I mean,
after the trials,
should it go well?
I'll do Paris on the 6th of July.
Yeah.
And that is going to be the 5,000 meters.
Yes.
I want to just go as hard as possible, just like the way we did in Monaco. Just one heated race before the championships. So I did last year, and now one heated one before London would be Paris.
What is the selection process in Kenya compared to the U.S. as far as?
Kenya is based on a simple process. You know, you just, in the 5,000 for example, when I was running, they used to have no heats for the 5,000 meters. You just go, bam, go finals. They make the team 1, 2, 3.
And that'd be
or they say 1, 2, and then the third one will be up to the selection.
And this would be at an official trial.
Yes, official trials.
Yes. What is the pressure like that in Kenya? I mean, you have so many.
It's huge pressure because you know you're running with a big group of people. You can go down. You don't know who is who here. But then at the same time, the advantage that we have here is like for example in the 5,000 we have the semi-finals and the final. So for the semi in Eugene, for example, I'm going to treat that as a warm-up opener. You know, I'm opening myself, loosening myself up. I've been on spikes in training and running shoes on the trails. Now it's time to do that. And then on the 28th, that's the real race.
But in Kenya,
when
it's all
my body is ready. While
all
Kenya's
once.
over there, yeah, but Kenya's all once.
And how many would be in that race?
In Kenya?
Yeah.
Man, a lot, like about 30 people.
I'm sorry, how many?
About more than 30 people. Yes.
And half of them you don't know, I presume. You don't even know who they are.
No, but when you're on the top, you also know, okay, if I'm Eliud Kipchoge, I know Koech is here, I know Longosiwa or somebody else is here. So it's that kind of things you have to make sure you know where somebody is. But in the United States, I like the setting because we just go the 12th in the finals, and then you just have to put an eye on who you think are your main competitors. Pick 4.
So looking ahead to the trials, I mean, some people get up here and they go, oh, I haven't made the team yet, and you're already talking about your races past the trials.
Yes.
But looking at the trials, I mean, Lopez just ran a good 5K. Kind of, what are your thoughts on the trials? Your competition there? Seems like it's getting harder each time.
Yes, man. It is. You know what? I'm looking at the trials to be as tough as what Zalitsky did last year going to take. That boy hammered. And I gave him credit. He ran hard. And at some point I thought he was going to drop me. But I didn't let that put me down. I was like, let me fight hard. And so I can see the trials developing to be the same. Even though it's going to change a little bit. We don't have a Solinsky this year who is a front runner who is going to be pushing hard. So we are going to have a situation whereby everybody will still be doodling around and then suddenly 1 mile to go. Bam, you just go.
That's your type of race, right?
I will be looking forward to it.
Also, you don't have, the one thing you don't have is the Olympic gold medal.
What's that again?
The only thing you don't have is the Olympic gold medal.
Yes, that's true, man.
How does that motivate you?
A lot. It motivates me every day. When I wake up, I know this is what I want. I just want to get the gold medal. I have the bronze. I have the silver. And now one thing is missing. And more than before, you know, I missed it in 2008, and so this is the time that I really need to get it going.
Martin, just how do you feel about the U.S. trials? I mean, do you feel it's a fair process to go in and work Australia, the top 3? I know last year you had, soldiers.
Yeah, I think it's a fair process because, you know, it gives an athlete equal opportunities to go there and do the best they can.
And just last year, you gave up your spot to Anthony Waiting and
Yes.
Can you just talk a little bit about the promise you see in
Okay, so the process actually...
the promise you see in
yes. You know what? It was amazing because because I saw Andrew, and it wasn't only Andrew, it was the guy who would finish fourth was the one that I was going to tell him, you're making the team because I'm not going to make the team. I knew deep inside I wanted to get something for security purposes to make sure I'm in the team. And so when I made it, that was all. And so I told Andrew, go represent the United States with a lot of pride.
And you saw some, you see something in Andrew as a coach?
Yes, he has a lot of talent. He has a lot of talent. And this is the guy that I think is going to do well. I feel bad because of the injuries he's had, but I'm sure he's going to do well.
Are you doing
Thank you so much.
Are you doing the 15 and the 5 in the trials?